Okay, these are the notes for 11.3 day 2. So day 2 is very similar to what we did before. We're just going to get a little bit more complicated than we had in the past. So first of all, again, I want to mention anytime you look at these rational expressions and you see addition and subtraction, I would put up parentheses. It's just a little tip that seems to help and prevent people from starting to cancel where they shouldn't. So for this one, again, the first thing you're going to do is flip this. And the next thing you're going to do is look to factor everything. Okay, so look for always GCF, then again. Okay, so and then over here, again, everywhere you see addition and subtraction, we'll put parentheses. Okay. So I would like you to try these yourself. Again, look for a greatest common factor first. Okay, so this one has a greatest common factor. This doesn't, so that's going to stay by itself. Remember, you need to flip this because it's division. And then look to cancel. So over here, I have addition and subtraction. Look for a GCF. That doesn't have a GCF. So the next thing you look for is if it can be factored into two binomials. This one, it's a monomial, so you can just leave it there. Over here, look for a GCF. And then over here, look to see if you can factor it into binomials. So I'd like you to try these and then come back and we'll talk about the answers. Okay, over here you can see this is the flipped over version of this, the reciprocal. And then we're going to cancel. So I factored out the 7 up here. This one didn't have a greatest common factor, so I left it alone. The 21 moved to the bottom, and I factored a 3 from here. So the 7 can cancel with the 21. They both can be divided by 7, and that leaves me with 3. I don't have another common factor with x minus 2y. I have a 3, and I can divide that with this 3. So when I'm done, actually all the monomial numbers canceled, and this is what I'm left with. Again, these are in parentheses, so you can't cancel the 3 and the 6. No, no, no. Those are part of terms. They are something being added. They are in the parentheses. You can't go in the parentheses and start canceling. You have to take the whole parenthesis or none. So this is as far as you can go. In this one, I factored the top left, as you can see here. I took the 6x cubed, which some of you won't need to do, but I broke that into its primes, 2 times 3, and then x for the x cubed. Over here, I factored out the greatest common factor of 2x, and in this denominator, I factored it into two binomials. And then I'll cancel again. I have an x plus 7, x minus 5, no. I have a 2, I can cancel with this 2. I have an x, I can cancel that with that x. I have an x minus 3 that can cancel with that. And some of you may want to choose to use markers or pens to change the colors to help you see what's left. So on the top I have left x minus 5, and on the bottom I have a 3, an x times an x, so I have 3x squared. So this is my answer. In the next ones, I'd like you to try these again. Notice the addition and subtraction. Okay, so you're going to look for greatest common factors. And after that, if there's a square, that maybe you can factor it too. So please push pause and do your best to work through these the best you can, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, on this slide, I took the first numerator and I factored it. On the bottom side, I factored this denominator. Over here, I took a greatest common factor out of 2y minus 4. That's right here. And I factored y squared minus 36 here. Then I cancel. Y minus 3 didn't have anything to cancel. The 2 didn't have anything to cancel. And notice, do not cancel the y minus 6. When we're canceling these, we're saying anything divided by itself is 1. Just like 5 divided by 5 is 1, y minus 2 divided by y minus 2 is 1. These y minus 6's, I'm multiplying those. I'm not dividing those. So that turns into y minus 6 squared on the bottom. Okay. Over here, again, I factored the numerator. I factored the denominator here. The 2 with c minus 3 is moved up top because you multiply by the reciprocal. And the 6c plus 3, I factored out a GCF of 3. Then I'm going to cancel. Now, when everything cancels off the top, just like if you had 5 over 10, and I asked you to simplify 5 over 10, you wouldn't tell me that's 0 over 5. You would tell me that's 1/2. And when we divide all of these, we're left with ones. So this becomes 1/3. Do not write 3. That is a completely different number than 1/3. So again, if I gave you 5 over 10 and asked you to simplify, you would say 1/2. That's the same idea here. I divided top and bottom by 2c minus 3. I divided top and bottom by c plus 2. I divided top and bottom by 2c plus 1. So your answer is 1/3. All right, these last ones are a little crazy. My recommendation to you is going to be to take the division, rewrite it as multiplication by multiplying by the reciprocal, and then just go slowly, looking for greatest common factors, and then looking for factoring farther if you can. So take your time. Just try to factor some of it. And at least if you can do part of it, I think you'll be surprised at how much you'll be able to get. So please pause and just try some of these, factoring through some greatest common factors and then more. Okay, over here, I factored out the 6. I factored out the 4. I factored out the 3. I factored out a 6. Remember, I flipped this one. So I took this and factored out a 2, which left me with 4x squared minus 1. 4x squared minus 1 is a difference of 2 squares, so I can break that up even more into 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. I took this, factored out the 3, which left me with x squared minus 4. And then I said, oh, x squared minus 4 is a difference of 2 squares. I can factor that into x plus 2, x minus 2. See, I know this is a long chain, but just go slowly. I have a 6. Oh, look, there's another 6. I'll divide top and bottom by 6. X plus 2. Oh, there's another x plus 2. I have a 3 that can cancel with a 3. I have an x minus 3. No, can't do anything with that. I have a 2 that I can cancel with the 4. All right, I have a 2x plus 1. There's another 2x plus 1. I have a 2x minus 1 and a 2x minus 1. So we did a whole lot of stuff. Let's see what we have left on the top. I have an x minus 3. And on the bottom, I have a 2. It's right here. And an x minus 2. Okay, so that's your final answer. Over here, I did a similar. I pulled the x, the GCF of x. That's where this came from, and I was left with x squared minus 9. And then I said, wait, I can break up x squared minus 9 into x plus 3, x minus 3 over 8. I multiplied by the reciprocal here. That's why the 2's on top, the x plus 3 is on the bottom. And I shouldn't have flipped that one, so let me fix that. This should be a 4. And this should be a 3x minus 3. I shouldn't have flipped that one. So that's a multiply. Okay, and now I'm going to look to cancel again. Again, this was just factoring out the GCF. So I have an x. No, I don't see anything with an x. I have an x plus 3 and another x plus 3. I have a 2. Okay, I'm going to take that 2 and cancel it with the 8. I'll divide both by 2. That leaves me with a 4. X minus 3, x minus 3. I have a 4 here and a 4 here. All right, so let's look what I have on the top. I have an x on the top. All the rest of it canceled. On the bottom, okay, I canceled that, that, and that, and I have a 3. So your final answer of this big crazy problem is x over 3. So again, with the multiplication and division, always look for a GCF first. If there's addition or subtraction, do not start canceling. you need to look to factor out other things. So don't try to cancel. If you see addition, subtraction, your very first step might be to throw up the parentheses, look for a GCF, and then see if you can factor it further. Okay, that concludes 11.3 day 2.